Kazakh government has announced that it's to continue with plans to compulsorily purchase several million acres of arable land in Kazakhstan, much of it owned by China and the United States. The US has strongly condemned the move, likening it to Soviet-era renationalization. The Kazakh president has said that with the continuing wheat crisis, his nation is struggling to feed its people.
Glasses?
Have its land in foreign hands. Kazakhstan is the latest in the series of countries.
Notepad. No pages missing. Pen. If you're in this, you stay shackled. You understand?
I'm Ross, your new interrogator. I know my predecessor wasn't gentle. I know he hurt you, Jess. And in return, you hurt him.
Hurt him? She stuck a fucking screwdriver into his spine.
I'm not going to be like that.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't go too close.
I want to see what he did to you.
Can you get me a book, please?
What book would you like?
The Bible. I want to read the Bible.
You heard this? I sold it.
It's a graphic novel. It's about a scientist who makes a deal with the devil. The manuscript exists. The boy knows where it is.
Do you want to see my nuclear fallout shelter?
Where is Jessica Hyde?
Yesterday I was arrested for a sex crime. Today I'm on the run from ex-government nutters who want to pull out my eyes.
Fucking IT consultant.
I'm Jessica Hyde. I'm Philip Carville's daughter.
Don't find out the truth about our father.
We need to find out why they want the manuscript.
It has the identity of Mr. Rabbit.
We believe it describes the molecular structure of a protein we call Janus.
The purpose of Janus is to sterilize the entire human race.
I destroyed your work. Janus is gone.
That's just a bunch of old drawings done by a crazy man. That's where he hid Janus.
It's in me.
Is your mother home?
Thanks, Peter.
It's Pietra.
Peter, that's what I said. Come on, cartoons.
I like cartoons.
So you two settled in then?
Look what Peter got me.
Oh, you've got to stop buying her things.
No, he doesn't. You don't, Peter.
It's Pietro.
Peter, that's what I said.
Don't tease him, Amanda.
Pietro. It's Pietro.
You right, Ian? Everything all right?
Why are you asking that?
No reason. I'm not prodding.
Prodding? You're not prodding. Actually, there was something. Do you think it's possible to actually die of boredom? Because I was just going to staple my own tongue. That's how bored I am. I was going to staple my own fucking tongue in the hope that pain would give me some small reprieve from the tedium of IT.
Do you want to talk about it, buddy?
No.
Because self-harm is a key indicator.
It's not self-harm, Joe, okay? Doing this job, self-harm.
You're not alone, Ian. My cousin, he tried to kill himself. It was just like you. He just disappeared. Then we found out he'd been in hospital and he tried to... I mean... Once or twice I found myself, thinking about...
I'm going to do some work now, Joe.
Yeah, of course.
Because I really feel like I need to know. Get fucking cracking.
Yeah, you, Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back. Becky. Where are you, Becky?
I have this, Jess, but I'd like to think I don't need it.
Why are you calling me Jess?
That's what Christos called you.
So you're trying to get into my head?
No. Just trying to connect, that's all. And I know how alone you must feel. Your father put Janus in you, but before he did, he made an adjustment to it. Now, we've taken Janus from your blood. It works perfectly. We're making it right now, hiding it in the Russian flu vaccine that everyone is so desperate for. But we cannot see his adjustment. And we can't release the vaccine until we know what the adjustment is. We know he told Christos. And we think Christos told you. So I would like you to tell me. Because there is another way, Jess. And our scientists say that if they can cut open your brain, they'll find it. I'm holding them off, Jess.
Why? Why not just cut me open?
I don't want you hurt. You are your father's daughter.
My father's daughter? He put this thing in me. I was nothing but a genetic container to him.
No. You're wrong. He loved you.
Hello, matey. No, it's all right. I'm alone.
I thought you was dead.
Nearly. Lost the use of my arm. Nerve damage. My lungs all messed up. I'm not much use to anyone now.
How did you find me?
Wasn't easy. You're being discreet.
What's in that bag?
Clothes. Bits of food. I move around a lot.
Are you hungry?
What is this?
Quinoa. It's a superfood.
Yeah. Super. Still got her old bag then?
It's good for tools. I'm a plumber.
Nice. Nice work. Sort of thing that appeals to a meticulous mind. How long's all this been going on?
4 months. We met in a pub. They like me. I'm quiet.
Yeah. You certainly are quiet. Have you struggled to adjust, RB? I have. I know it's odd, but I brush my teeth obsessively. Like the things we did are caught in me. In my mouth, or... What about you?
No, I just brush the normal amount. I think we can move on, Lee. I mean, it's all over now.
Over? What, that fire? Come on. You think a thing like that stops them? They're starting again. Nothing's over. And I know things. Example, I know they want you. For a job. There's someone they want got rid of. They want you to do it.
But I'm out, Lee. Just like you.
Out? I'm not out. Who said I was out? You're never out, RB. Not a good idea. I swear it isn't. Hello, you.
Oh, hello.
I'm Lee. I'm an old friend of Arby's from the old days. Arby's told me all about you.
Arby?
A nickname. We used to work together. Has he not told you anything about our work together?
Tell me about it. Mr. Mystery. You've got to be kidding.
He does love a mystery.
What's in that bag?
Amanda, don't be rude.
Oh, that's not rude. Curiosity should always be encouraged. I tell you what, Amanda. Why don't you open it up and have a look?
What on earth is that?
Dental gas. It's a prototype. I work for a company that sells to dentists. Pop it on the table, love.
What do you do with it?
Well, when little kids don't look after their teeth and they get rotten, we have to make them sleep. Let's hope we never have to use it on you, eh?
Do you want tea or anything?
Not for me, Tess. I won't be long. I intend finishing here very soon. Oh, I just remembered where my electronic fag was. You see all this? It's not for you. You know that. It's been a lovely holiday and you'll never forget it or the people you met here. But it's time to come home now, Barbie. And you can never, ever come back.
As you all now know, Corvat has today gone into administration. But as sole manufacturer of the Russian flu vaccine, we believe that Corvat cannot be allowed to fail. So I have taken the decision that Corvat will be bailed out. As of today, we are making the vaccine, and this will happen at an unprecedented pace. So if Russian flu strikes, you will be protected. It is with this in mind, I am very pleased to introduce the new temporary CEO, a man with years of experience and someone who is intimately familiar with Russian flu, Mr. Michael Dugdale.
There we go. Not so bad, was it? Apart from you looking like a tit. How about you? How you doing? You're with us now.
We are not fucking friends, Jeff. Okay? I don't like you. I go so far as to say I hate you. I despise you. Every time I see you, I feel physically sick. I'm seeing this vaccine through, but that's it, right? You remember that.
Go home. You're the last one here. Thought you hated this place?
Joe, do you want to go for a drink?
Pints for the lads? Hey, do you hear about Martin? He's going out with Leanne. What? Leanne?
Do you ever think your life's become meaningless, Joe? What if I were to tell you that I didn't try and kill myself at all, that there was no hospital? What if I were to tell you that I'd been on the run, chased by a shadowy organisation who wanted to kill me, my friends, who control governments, and whose objective was to sterilise the world? And I stopped them. Me.
I reckon she's just leading him on. Leanne? She's not his type. Google alert. Grant Leatham. Who's Grant Leatham?
I can hear that down the street.
Yeah, I'm being a fucking goth, it's what you want, innit?
What? That's not even goth music!
It's shit, it'll do.
And why are you talking on chat rooms? Grant, you're supposed to be dead.
Well, no one will believe them nut jobs.
For fuck's sake, Grant, you can't do this!
I'm dead. I'm dead, mate. My mum, my mates, everyone I know, they'll think I fucking killed myself because of you and that bitch Milner.
Milner is finishing off the network. When that's done...
Milner, fucking Milner. We haven't heard from her in months. She's forgotten about us, Ian. We've been left here to rot. I'm fucking sick to my tits of you. I'm going out.
Mate, no, you're not.
Oh, yeah. Ian,
What?
get off me!
Oh, for fuck's...
Ian! Oh! Whoa!
Grant, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're right.
You punched me.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm a kid.
I know, I'm sorry,
kid.
Grant.
Do you know what? I'll call the police and telling them you touched my bollocks. You pedo.
I like the new patch. Have you thought about what I said?
Yeah. Why me? I mean, you told me who you are. Who you really are. Why'd you take that risk?
We tortured you. We disfigured you. We murdered your father. And yet, in the last instance, you chose to betray the people you'd grown to love for our cause.
Yeah, but am I capable?
Of course you are. You believe...
I'm not talking about belief. I'm talking about capacity. Look, I want to help you. And I believe this is right. It's just that I don't think I can.
What do you see when you see me?
Milner. Leighton. Mr. Rabbit, I don't know.
What do you see when you see me?
I see. I see someone who's killed thousands. Who murders, tortures, executes innocent children without hesitation. That's what I see.
And do you think I wanted that? Do you think I wanted to be Mr. Rabbit? You're capable of more than you know, Wilson. Believe me. Do you recognize me? I can see him in you.
You knew my father?
I knew him very well. I made sure you survived his leaving. I have a very important thing for you to do. This man knows something. His name is Christian Donaldson, and what he knows, no one can know. I'm trusting you, do you see? I want you back. If only you could have known your father, Arby. He was incredible. He was...
My name's Pietro. And my father wasn't incredible. Not at all.
You're being uncharacteristically soft.
He'll do it. He'll come back to us. Just in case, send others too. Send a SWAT team. Make sure Donaldson's dead.
I wish Becky had taken me with her. I hate you. She was great, Becky.
Yeah. She was great, Becky.
Becky! It's a long way down, Becky. I don't think you should jump.
Jesus Christ, just let me die in peace, you creepy little fuck.
This isn't why I contacted you. I wanted your help, not your death. You don't have to do this yet.
What do I get for my help? Another month of life? 6 weeks if you're generous? Just fuck off, Christian. I'm not doing this anymore.
1 year. A whole year. A year's worth of Thoraxin, Becky. It works, doesn't it? Well, it's not a cure, but it's taking care of the symptoms.
What do I have to do for it?
Nothing like last time, I promise. I'm not asking you to get the manuscript. I'm not asking you to betray your friends. You just help me now downstairs. Becky.
Hi. Who's this to?
Oh, piss it the fuck off.
This is a honey trap. Show a bit of fucking honey.
Who was this guy again?
Right. Tony Bradley, an utterly mediocre scientist. I went to college with him. He's a moron. Out of nowhere, he's written the definitive book on Deal syndrome. I've read it. It's brilliant.
So?
So he's an idiot. The knowledge in that book, he's stolen it. Look, Becky, I'm clever. Think how much more use that would be in my hands.
And this is out the kindness of your heart to help Deal's victims.
No, I want to take what he's got, write my own book, and make a shitload of cash.
And if I don't help you?
Well, the NHS does some wonderful things around end-of-life planning.
Excuse me. Hi.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're so funny.
Am I?
Yeah.
Didn't think I was.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
I've got this.
Where did you get her?
Christian, is that you?
What have you got a gun for?
It's for shooting people. Are you two together?
Oh, fuck no. Not like that, we're not.
Where are you getting this? I've read your fucking book. You don't know any of this.
I am a respected scientist.
No, you're not.
Yes, well, you're hardly a Nobel Prize winner, are you, Christian?
That's because I've got demons. You're just a knuckle dragger.
No, I have painstakingly and methodically researched Deal syndrome, and I have made certain leaps. And I did it on my own. Just me.
Get up.
Jesus. It's like a dungeon.
Are you having sex with this man?
No. All right, look. I was in the middle of a class about 5 months ago, and he just walked in. Started doing equations on the board. I had no idea what was going on. The stuff was incredible. So I brought him home, gave him some food, but he kept doing it. I realized it related to deals. And I thought, well, this should be published.
How would he know about deals?
What language is that?
I have no idea. He doesn't speak English. I think his name is Anton.
Let's get out of here. This doesn't feel safe.
Right, well, Anton, come on. Let's get you out.
Right, hold his hand. I'm going to tie your hands together. It's inconspicuous, and it's hard to run when you're tied to another human being.
No. You fuck
fucking do it.
Can I go? Can I just go now, please?
Oh, Becky, will you stop messing around? Right, well, you'll have to have the gun.
You are such a twat.
Can I just go now, please?
We need information first, then you can go. Mm-hmm.
When I first came here, they used to let me go up to another room for an hour every day. There was a window there, I could see clouds outside. They took it away because I hurt people.
Do you like clouds? I believe in what your father did. I believe in Janus. But am I going to sit here and tell you that what he did to you was right? No. No, I'm not. Did you want children, Jessica? He denies you a father, and then he denies you children.
What kind of mother would I have been?
You'd have been a great mother.
I couldn't have been a mother.
All that love, you'd have been amazing. We're running out of time, Jess. Are you ready to tell me?
Why don't you just hurt me?
That's not what you deserve. It just isn't.
Of a worldwide vaccination program. These diseases are everywhere on the increase, and it's now possible that TB deaths may overtake malaria deaths within 5 years.
Yes, that's bad.
It's all about transport with the vaccines. The cold chain must remain uninterrupted, and this means refrigerated trucks, ships. These places are remote. It's hard.
Yes, well done. You've been doing some excellent... Mr. Gorsand, how good to see you.
Jeff isn't here because he cares about vaccines, darling. He's here because he wants my fucking papers on board for the next election.
We're not like that these days.
Politics doesn't change.
There's a room nearby we can use. Why don't you join us? Oh, you can wait in there.
No, look, I think it's about
Do
time
as you're
I
told, dear.
Every time a new drug is developed, there are winners and losers. If you're watching this, you're a winner, but not everyone is so lucky.
On average, vaccines reach the third world 15 years after we get them. That's 15 years of disease, of misery, of death.
Russian flu has the potential to kill millions, but there is a vaccine. As usual, we'll get it first. The developing world left to beg, left to die.
But we want to say, no, not this time. V-Day is an initiative started by the Russian Foundation to get the Russian flu vaccine to everyone at the same time. On the 16th of November, V-Day.
It means us waiting a few months for the vaccine so that they don't have to wait decades. Isn't that worth it?
Support V-Day.
Say no, not this time.
This time, we live together.
Are you fucking serious? This?
We launch V-Day on Wednesday. Leah's Russian Foundation will back the campaign, underwriting the cost for countries that can't afford it.
How much will that be?
$268 billion.
That's 6 times the deficit. You can't afford that. No NGO is anywhere near that kind of money.
We have 23 billion. My husband is worth 11, and he's leaving it all to us. He will die next week. His example will be followed. Alexander Levchenko, 23 billion. Steph Arberg, 21 billion. Tim Stanton, 18 billion. There are others.
We're harvesting the rich, Jeff.
We have celebrities and NGOs ready to back us. It's a good thing.
But you're the most important. You run the health department, and the department now owns Corvat. If you say no one gets the vaccine until we all do, so be it.
I can't do that. That's political suicide. My career will be over.
How do you think you got your career? Through talent and ability? You got your career because we gave it to you. You have only one talent, Jeff, and it's doing what you're told.
Jess, are you ready?
I don't know what the adjustment is, Ross. Christos never told me.
What? No. That can't be. They tortured you for 5 months.
I pretended to know. I had to stay alive. I want to show you what they did to me.
I know you're scared. But you must trust me. We're running out of time. Jess.
But your approach... Your approach is different. You want to get in my head?
No, I'm not in your head.
I know you're not. I know you're not, Ross. I'm in yours.
Something's come up. I'm off.
Oh, yeah. Cool, buddy. Do you mind me asking what...
Found her. Becky, I found her. Come on, dickhead, let's go.
Yes.
Can you understand me? What I'm saying? Do you speak English?
Will you stop fucking struggling?
Can I go now?
Please. Of course you can't go. I need to know what he knows about deals, and you screwed the knot up so tight we've got to find a fucking knife. Triste. Why are you staying here?
I'm hiding out. I felt like I was being followed. Oh, shit. Becky, can you get a knife? Stop bloody sweating.
Fuck all here. Where else you going?
There. She's going that way. Let's be careful. Just wait here, okay?
난 발판에 감으로 타요. Give to me.
How many? I'll let you live. Including you. Thank you. Come with me or they'll kill you.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I've come to find you.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I mean, why have you come to find me?
Why do you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm fucking asking you.
Jesus. This is not at all going how I imagined it would.
Oh my God.
There's one more, right here.
What the hell is that? Can I go now? Can I just go now, please? Please. You make a fucking heart attack!
My name's Pietro. We need to run, all of us, right now.
Go on, you all right?
He's a psycho! He killed Bijou and Alice's mum. He just fucking shot her.
It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. I saved you. And those soldiers weren't there to kill you either.
Then why were they there?
They were there to kill him.
Me? What the fuck have I done?
She made the rope, plaited it from pages torn from a Bible, and she wound it into the gate's mechanism, but we don't know which way. Press up, down, it could release him, or it could tear his head off. Can't go in there because she's rigged these doors onto the same circuit, and we can't override it. If you interfere with the mechanism, the gate shuts. It's a safety measure.
She tried to get out, made any demands. What does she want?
She doesn't want anything. She's lost her mind. She's just not moved in 5 hours. She stares at clouds.
Who gave her the Bible? What have I done to you, Jessica? What have I done?
Glasses. Notepad. No pages missing. Pen.
Sign out.
You got a pen that works?